Hi, welcome to Salt City Knits podcast. I'm Emily, and this is a podcast all about my making life. And today I have some finished objects, a work in progress to share with you, and some fun shop news. So I'm excited to have you join me today. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful, sunny day today, and I feel like spring might be on its way. Oh, so hopeful. You can find me as Salt City Knits on Ravelry and as Salt City Knits Yarnbrary and Yarnbrary on Instagram. And all of my patterns and my yarn are available at yarnbrary.com. And I'm going to start off today with just a little bit of chat. And like I said, we'll show finished projects and a work in progress and some fun shop news. I also have to talk to you about my new planner. It's really not that exciting, probably to anybody else, but it's exciting to me. So I'm going to share that with you. I didn't record last week just because I was working a lot. And it just was one of those times where I couldn't ever find the right day, but I'm really happy to be back this week. So you all have been amazing at and so supportive of my business, my Yarnbrary. And I've just been dyeing yarn and shipping out yarn and dyeing more yarn and shipping out more yarn. And I'm so grateful for it. It is such a joy. I love it. And I've been just really enjoying it. I thought it was going to be much harder for me to kind of keep things rolling since Richard is not working with me anymore. And yet it's been great. It's been really great. I still miss working with him, but I also am doing more of the yarn dyeing part of things. And for the last year, I was mostly doing admin. I was helping with yarn dyeing, but I got to do kind of the more creative parts and less of the production parts of yarn dyeing. But I was mostly doing admin, and admin is my least favorite part of the business. I still enjoy it. I don't enjoy the bookkeeping part of it. Let's just be honest. That's a necessary evil. But, shipping out packages and answering emails. I mean, I love talking to anybody who contacts me. That's a great part. But just kind of, the admin part, ordering supplies and things like that. It's not as fun as the actual yarn dyeing, but I've just been enjoying all of it. And a couple weeks ago, we had a really cold snap, really, really cold. And my yarn studio is in our garage. Half of our garage, we have like a 2-car garage. And half of that is just the yarn studio. And it's a garage. I mean, it doesn't have like heating vents and stuff out there. It's insulated, but it's still cold. And it got so cold for a couple of days there. It was just really, really cold, but it's warming up now and it's very enjoyable. So just loving that. Other than that, we are getting ready to get really started into Heroic Youth. For those of you who might be new, Heroic Youth is a nonprofit organization that my husband and I founded. We currently serve on the board of directors for it. I already mentioned it was nonprofit. We serve on the board of directors, but we also are 2 of the 4 primary mentors for the teens that we work with in our program. It's a youth leadership and character building program for kids ages 8 to 18. And for the teenager ages, we do a whole registration and application process for them. And so this group of kids that has signed up for this year, they have to write an essay on our theme for the year. And then they come and have an interview. And so we're starting all of our interviews this weekend. And we'll be doing some interviews this week, some the next week, and some the next week. And in the end, we'll interview 250 youth. And they're great kids, but it is a process. It's a lot. It's a lot of interviews. Now, Richard and I don't have to interview all 250. We interview the boys. So we interview half of that group. And then the team that's over the girls does that other part. But, which they're all so delightful. They're such good kids and they are so fun to talk to, but it's still a lot. It's a lot. So, we've been prepping for that. I've been, creating forms for notes, and we're preparing some letters that we hand out to them, and planning our food for the interviewers. We kind of work together to provide meals for all of us. And I'm heading that up, and just, things like that. We've got lots of volunteers who are doing a lot of the other stuff, but it's just been kind of busy. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. The schedule just worked out that we had to spread them out over 3 weeks time. And normally we try to get it done in 1 week's time. So I think there's going to be pros and cons about each way. Like, we won't get as exhausted as fast, but also it's like really spread out. So that's coming up. I don't know if you were interested in that, but that's what I'll be doing a lot of. I'll have some knitting time during that. I don't knit during the interviews, but in any waiting time or anything like that, I'll often have a project. So I wanted to show you my new planner. I go through these cycles. I don't know how you are, but I go through cycles where I need to write things down physically with a pen and paper, or they won't go into my brain. And then after a while, that will stop working and I'll be struggling to write everything down. And so then things feel like they're very much in like lots of different places. And so then I go back to a digital system, and then that will work for a while, where I'm just putting it in on my phone, using like Google Calendar and notes and stuff, Google Keep, things like that. And so the cycle has come back around, and the phone is no longer working. And so I pulled out a notebook, and I was kind of starting to use it like a planner, where I'm keeping my to-do lists and my calendar I was trying to get them all into one place, but I finally just went and bought a planner. And I went to TJ Maxx. I don't know if I'm sure TJ Maxx is pretty much all over the US, I think, but I'm not sure. I think you guys have like Home Sense in like the UK. It's like an overstocks kind of place, but I really liked it. And I needed to get a couple things. I got a new wallet, and I like to go there to get sometimes like hair treatment, what am I trying to say? Hair products, because they're usually nicer brands, but not necessarily the nicest brands, and they're often discounted. Anyway, things like that. And I wanted to look at their planners. So this is the one I found. And I have to tell you, I have to sing the praises of why this is my perfect planner. First of all, I'm going to put a picture right here of my planner and my purse together. And you can see that they're not an exact match. This has a navy background. The planner has a navy background, and my purse has a black background, but they definitely go together. And then I look at what I'm wearing today, navy with floral. I mean, you can see that it's kind of a thing. So I like the print, navy and florals, so good. Also, I had some washi tape already in my purse when I purchased this planner. And when I pulled it out, I realized it almost matched exactly as well. So let's see, here's a bigger piece of that. See, the washi tape that I had even was a really close match. It's not exact, but pretty close. So I sense a theme. So here's the things I like about this planner. It fits in my purse, but it's still fairly large. So it's not this big. It's got room for writing. It's a soft cover, so it works for me to stick my pen in my spot, my daily spot, and I can close it up with the little elastic strap. So if it was a hardcover, I wouldn't be able to do that as well. Also, the strap is a big deal. And it's got, I'm going to show you January because I put some things in the calendar just for me to keep the record. But it's got the monthly spread of the calendar. And then it has the weekly layout for you to put all your to-do lists in the weekly layout. Okay, here's another great thing about it. It has this much of the book, 75 pages, is just a lined notebook. It's just lined. Perfect. So here's my notes of the books that I've read so far and the projects that I have finished knitting so far. And I'm just keeping those on one. I went through and I numbered all the pages so that I can add references to any notes that I might want to reference in my calendar section. And I probably will, there's one blank page on the very last page here, and I will probably turn it into like a table of contents or like an index, so that I can reference where I've taken notes on things. And then the last part, it has a pocket. Oh, a notebook with a pocket. It's the best thing ever. I have some stamps in here. I have some stickers. I have a template. Yeah. Anyway, this was by Punch Studio. It was inexpensive. I think I spent $7 on it. It's glorious. Glorious. Love it. So sometimes my life is made so joyful by such small things. I don't know if that was interesting to anybody, but it made me so happy. So I looked at a bunch of different planners and it was so fun. I put it in my calendar, literally buy a planner on Tuesday. And we have our homeschool group, our Commonwealth group on Tuesdays. And so I left like an hour early because the TJ Maxx is really close to where we have our classes. And so I just planned an hour so I could go and peruse the planners. And I had so much fun. Made me so happy. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about finished projects. I'm so happy that I have finished the second sample of my cardigan, and the cardigan now has a name. The name is Abravanel, and Abravanel is the Symphony Hall here in Salt Lake City, and I've named it after Symphony Hall. And I love how it has turned out. This is the smallest size, and you can see how the lace panel runs down the front and runs through the collar. This collar can scrunch up or fold over. It's kind of like a shawl collar. And it's got the beautiful lace that runs down the raglan increases. And then it runs down that A-line increases in the A-line increases for the side. I love how that turned out. And then it has the lace panel. Oh, let's see if I can hold this out. Here we go. That runs all down the back. So I am now in the process of getting this written up and we'll be getting the photos done. I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm hoping for an early summer or late spring release for this, because I think it's a great project to work on through the summer since it's so lightweight. It's a fingering weight, lacy cardigan. So it's a good one to work on through the summer so you have it as a layering piece in the fall. So that's my goal with that. And I've mentioned, I think before, that I knit this in our Dickens colorway on my Biography Sock base. And I just love how smooth and it's soft, but not like, but with a lot of stitch definition, I guess is what I'm going for. It's just so pretty. I love that lace. So I'm very, very happy with it. I think it's turned out beautifully. And yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. So I finished that, and I also finished my Simon Cowl. This is the Simon, here, I'll put it on. I have thoughts about this pattern. So this is the Simon Cowl, and it is an add-on extra to the pattern, the Simon Shawl by Joanna, Herriott, Twinset and Purl. And it's made with this houndstooth texture. The texture and the stitches, the stitch pattern are so fun. It's so squishy. I have not blocked this. I don't know if I really plan to block it. I feel fine with it. And here's the back. This is the spot where it joins. So it starts with a provisional cast on, and then you knit it, you know, this direction. Yeah, this direction all the way around, and then you knit this ribbing and then Kitchener the stitches together with the stitches that were provisional. Now that I have knit the entire thing, I personally don't feel like there's any purpose to this curve here. Because of the nature of the fabric and the way that you wear it, at least for me, it's got an I-cord edge. And the I-cord edge, by nature, is a little bit more snug than this beautiful slip stitch houndstooth fabric, which means it's going to bunch up like this. I feel like I could very simply have just knit it straight all the way across. I'm not quite sure the purpose of the ribbing in the back. I think I probably would have left that out and just knit a big rectangle of the houndstooth and Kitchenered that together. The only thing is that the Kitchener stitch would look different than the houndstooth stitch pattern. So you would still have that seam if you chose to go that route. But you still have a wide seam of ribbing. So, you know, it wouldn't be more visible than that. I do like the wider width at the widest point more than I would like the narrower width, because I can kind of fold it in here at the top, and then it kind of gives it almost like it stays put. Instead of just going up against my neck, it stays kind of where I want it. I knit it about 2 inches, inch and a half longer. Yeah, about an inch and a half longer than the original pattern calls for. So those are my thoughts on it. I love the fabric of it, but I kind of don't see the need for all the increasing and then the you know, you kind of increase to a certain point and then knit even and then decrease. I feel like I would just want to start at the little bit wider width, like this width. So here, let me show it to you folded in half. You can see the increases, decreases better if I fold it this way. So you can see how that edge, you know, you knit even, then you increase to a certain point, then you knit, well, let's see, where is that? Then you knit even, and then you know, on the other side, you decrease down. I think I would have just preferred to do that rectangle and just knit it, because those increases were the part that I had to really read the first part of the pattern, the first part of each row, or at least every right side row. And I had to read those quite carefully to get those increases and decreases. So all that being said, I'm very happy I made this. I think it's going to go in my gift knits kind of stash. And the colors that I used two remnants, 250-gram remnants of contemporary sock. They're both Yarnbrary colors. And this kind of purpley color is Humperdinck. Here you can see it better there. And then the kind of cream with the peachy speckles, that is the main skein from Handsome Enough to Tempt Me. It's got a little Princess Bride and a little bit of Jane Austen going on here. Super fun to make. Really, really fun. That's what I would do if I were to make it again, which I might. I might make it again. I have some absolutely stunning Kinross 4-ply from Scotland, which is 100% lamb's wool. And I think that I have it in a few different colors, and they're in 50-gram skeins or hanks. And this uses 50 grams of each color. So that could really be a nice thing. My friend Margaret knit the Simon Shawl out of the Kinross 4-ply, which is what gave me that idea. So I love it. Super fun. That will be a lovely gift. All right, let me show you my other project. And I realize I'm missing one piece of it. One moment. So my son-in-law, Michael, is one of the most knit-worthy people in my life when it comes to socks. He loves the socks I've made him, and he just wears them and wears them and wears them. And he only has like 3 pair. And so I've decided I'm making him more. I'm going to try and make him 3 or 4 pairs of socks this year. We'll see how it goes. So I've been working on a pair of socks for him, and I've pulled out several of my partial skeins. You know, I kind of did I won't say it's a real true sort through of all of my remnants and scraps. So it wasn't really a true sort through of everything, but I have done a kind of a preliminary, I don't know, quick little sort through where I put kind of the tiniest little bits into a basket, the 15, 20, even 30 gram kind of balls into a jar. And then I gathered up anything that was close to 50 grams or above and put those in another container. And so I've been trying to pull from those kind of larger remnants. So that's where I got the yarn to do this. And that's where I pulled out the yarn to make these socks. So these are just vanilla socks, and I am using Yarnbrary Biography in the Herriott colorway. And then this yarn here, it's a Malabrigo Ultimate Sock. I do not remember the name of the colorway off the top of my head, but that's what the kind of greenish, yeah, it's a green, little bit of blue, little bit of brown in it, kind of almost sea green kind of color. And that is what I'm using for the contrast. I have used up pretty much all of the Herriott. I think I had just over 50 grams. It was close to 60 grams, but not quite. And I've used I've got this much left. It's 3 grams left. But this is where I am so far on these socks. Now, these are a 72 stitch count, and I knit the cuff with 25 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. And then the leg from the cuff to the heel is 85 rounds. And then I did my heel flap and gusset, and I did a full 36 rows for that heel flap, 18 slip stitch rows, you know. Worked my gusset, and then 20 more rows of plain knitting. And that's where I decided to switch color, partially because I've been trying to do these kind kind of in phases. So I did the first cuff and then I did the second cuff. Then I did the first leg, then the second leg. The first heel, the second heel. And I've been weighing my yarn in between. I've got my little scale and I've been weighing my yarn to try to get me to that 50, oh, sorry. Oh, my 50% of the yarn. But I still was trying to kind of guesstimate, and obviously I think having 3 grams left, I did a pretty good job. I really kind of wish I had used like another 1.5 grams on each one, just because I think I'm going to end up with some serious yarn chicken to get the foot and toe the size that I need it to be for these socks, because I have 25 grams of yarn left. So we may end up with a 3rd color for the toe. We'll see how it goes. I should get the foot in, but I don't know if I'll get the foot and the toe in for both socks. But I think this pair will be really nice for him. He'll really enjoy them. He has really wide feet, and I think he has a lot of issues with his feet. And so I think it's really nice to have sweaters for your feet, you know, hugging your feet and making you feel appreciated and everything. He really, really likes them. So that's what I'm working on. He and my son Isaac wear the exact same size of socks. And so, you know, that it's nice that I can knit them for both of them. And they're both very appreciative. But Isaac is in Texas right now and will be for the next, you know, almost 2 years. And he did not have any desire to bring his wool socks to Southern Texas. Can't imagine why. So if I knit any for him, they'll be saving up for when he comes home. Right now, I have this as a work in progress, and I have my design that I'm working on for the Holy Week yarn devotional boxes. And so I can't show you that, but that's all I have on the needles right now. And I think I'm ready to cast something else on. I need something more. So I am trying to decide what I'm going to do next. I might do a vest. For those of you who watched a couple episodes ago, I had my youngest Abby on, and she had her crocheted granny square vest that she had made. And she looks so cute in that and loves it so much. It goes with so many different things that she wears. And she has just mentioned that she'd like more vests like that. And I know she's wanting to crochet more. And so, you know, I know that will be forthcoming. She's working on the campfire cardigan. It's like a granny hexagon based cardigan that she's working on right now. But I thought there's so many cute slipovers, vests. I think I want to do a color work vest for her. So I was looking through her Pinterest board the other day, and she had a really cute color work vest on there. And it was very much like, I don't know, what I consider very classic British style color work. And I'm sure for my lovely friends in the UK, you're probably rolling your eyes at me a little bit, because there's so many different versions of that, right? Like, but it works for me to describe what I'm seeing in my own imagination. So I'll have to look at patterns and see what I can find. And maybe I'll just find a basic pattern and then find some color work charts from other, you know, I've got like Andrea Rangel's, I can't remember what it's called. Knitivation. I'm looking at my bookshelf. I think it's Knitivation. It's the Knitivation Stitch Dictionary. It's got a lot of fun color work things in there. So I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do, but I think that's the next thing I'm going to make. And yeah, it'll be fun. I'm in the mood for some color work right now. It sounds lovely. And I'm sure I can use more of those remnants from my partial skeins box that I could incorporate into that. So that would be a great use of that yarn. Coming up here, probably over the next week or so, I'm going to be moving my craft room from the basement room that it's been in for some time, for years, to our upstairs, one of our upstairs rooms. I've had it down there I think it's been since Ethan moved out, maybe a little bit before then. Yeah. Ethan's my oldest son and he's almost 29. So it's been several years, maybe 8 or something. I actually don't even remember. It's one of my favorite places in my whole house. I jokingly say to my children, I call it my trailer sometimes. It's kind of like when, like making fun of a famous actor saying, I'll be in my trailer. And that's what I'll say that to my kids. I'll be in my trailer. Anyway, but it's in the basement. It doesn't have a lot of natural light. It has a window, but it's still, it's just not awesome that way. In addition to that, the room upstairs was Isaac's bedroom, and we're keeping all of his furniture and everything. We're just kind of trading the 2 rooms because we're going to use that as a guest room for the next couple of years until he comes back, when he moves back from Texas. And even when he moves back, I don't anticipate that he will be living with us for a long time. He'll be 22 and ready to be out on his own. And, so, I mean, we'll see. But in the meantime, we'll have it as a guest room. And this summer, we most likely will have Abby's really close friend staying with us off and on. Not like moving in, but just needing a night here and a night there, because she lives quite a ways away, a good 2-hour drive away. And she's participating heavily in heroic youth programs this year. And so it just makes sense to use that as a guest room. And it would be weird for her, for an 18-year-old girl to have the room next to us when she could have the room next to Abby. It just makes sense. So we moved everything out of Isaac's room, and it has been painted this weird mustardy color. It's fine color. But since Ethan, again, he's almost 29. I think he was 12 when he picked out that color. And it's been that color for that long. So I just wanted it white. Abby has been all excited about it, and she painted it herself. And there's some touch-ups to be done, and I need to paint the door. But then we're going to be ready to move things. So hopefully next time I record, I'll have some updates for you. Maybe I can do some videos of that whole change around. But as that process goes along, I really, really, really need to sort through everything. I do not want to put everything that has built up in my craft room into my new space. I want it to be kind of a fresh reset, a fresh start. So I'm going to be de-stashing some things. Yarn is not really my primary problem because I use the yarn that I have, and I have a great desire to use the yarn. I might get rid of a few things, but not really. That's not my main issue. It's all the other stuff that has built up, other craft supplies, and honestly, just other tchotchkes and knickknacks and clutter and unfinished projects that I'm probably not going to finish, that are like years and years old, that kind of stuff. Decor. I'm just really ready for a clean start on that. So I will be doing some de-stash, doing some donations, throwing a few things away, seeing what my kids want to claim, and resetting. And I'm excited because I'm hoping to get either move some of my plants. I don't have a ton of plants. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plants. And I'd like to either move some of those up there or get a new plant or 2 up there, just some fun things. I'm also going to hopefully move my spinning wheel into that room. That will be really nice. And it may become my new podcast spot because it will have some good lighting, and yeah, that might be my new spot. So we'll see. It's going to take some time trying to manage all of that, especially along with doing interviews and work and, life. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's talk about some shop news. So I have been overwhelmed and so happy with so many people being interested in my Holy Week boxes. I have 2 left. So yeah, I just can't believe it. I didn't know kind of if other people would be as interested in this idea as I was. And obviously the answer has been yes. And I'm so happy for that. So there are 2 boxes, 2 spots left for that. And I thought about opening up more spots, and then I sat myself down and had a good talk with myself. I did some of that to myself in the mirror. Do what you can do and don't try and stretch yourself too thin. And so I've decided to cap it at the number I've got. And it's still a significant amount of work, but I'm really, really looking forward to sharing that with you. So there's 2 of those left. I've also restocked Anne Shirley and Gilbert Blythe, and I have restocked all of the Little Women colorways. All 4 of the March Sisters are in stock. And I've added back As You Wish and Princess Buttercup from the Princess Bride collection. What else? Was there anything else I needed to mention? I also have some Jane Austen colorways still in. And I didn't realize this at the beginning of the year, or I might have made some different decisions. Jane Austen's 250th birthday is in December. If I had really thought about that, I probably would have made this a whole year of Austen. We're a couple of months in. I'm definitely going to be doing something fun for that. I don't know exactly what yet, but I'm definitely going to be doing something to celebrate Jane Austen's 250th birthday. I think it's December 12th. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But I know it's in December, and I know it's 250 years this year. So we have to celebrate Jane Austen. I mean, I do anyway. Maybe you don't, but I do. I've got to celebrate. So that will be coming up. The other fun thing is I shipped out all of the February orders for the Shire Club. If you have not received yours yet and you don't want to see it, look away, close your eyes. Okay, are they closed? Okay, so here is the picture of the Shire colorway for February. And the inspiration for this one is Second Breakfast. And I will say that my inspiration for Second Breakfast was tea and toast and a little bit of strawberry jam. And so that's kind of where I got the inspiration for that. Okay, picture gone. You can look again. And I have just finished dyeing, so I don't have photos yet, but I can tell you that the inspiration for the Shop Around the Corner set, my You've Got Mail club, is going to be posted in the next couple of days here for March's colorway. And the Shop Around the Corner club is not a mystery. It just has a colorway of the month. I post the pictures in advance so you can order, you can see the yarn before you order. But the Shire is a mystery club. So you just get to know what the inspiration is, just to clarify that. And so the inspiration for March for the Shop Around the Corner set is called Brinkley is My Dog. I love it so much. I especially love it because Margaret, who is probably watching, her dog is named Brinkley, after Brinkley in You've Got Mail. So I just think about her when I dyed that color. But yeah, so that's coming up in March. I think that's all of the shop news for right now. I think that's plenty. That's plenty. So if you are interested in any of those things, you can go and find them at yarnbrary.com. And yeah, that's everything I've got. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this sunshine. I'm going to work on my socks today. Once I finish this podcast, I will have finished my to-do list for the day. And guess what? It's 3 p.m. So that means I get to relax for the rest of the day. I mean, I got to make dinner and stuff like that. Don't want to, but I'm going to, because I like to eat dinner. So there you go. I hope you have so much fun with all of your making, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye.